Alright, welcome back. This is part 2 of chapter 1, so if you're just clicking on this video, make sure to go back and click on chapter 1 part 1. In chapter 1 part 1, we left off at step 8, so we are going to continue now at step 9. This is what your data should look like right now. Alright, so step 9, use an absolute cell reference as necessary so that you can copy the formula. In cell G4, construct a formula to calculate the percentage of total sales for the first region. Copy that formula down for the remaining regions. Alright, so let's get started. So for this, you got to use a little bit of basic math. Think about your grade. How do you calculate what your grade is going to be for the semester? To do that, people take their total points and divide it by the total points possible. Same thing here, just a little bit different. So first, we're going to put our equal sign. That's how we start our absolute cell reference. And we are going to start with northeast cells. So we're going to click on that. So now we're going to divide it by total sales. Once we do that, it will give us our percentage for northeast. So to divide, we're going to put / in total sales. Hit enter. There's our answer. Total sales is 0.2866660546%. So if we click our cursor here and drag it down, we're going to get an error sign here. So that's saying we messed up somewhere. Now let's go back and I'll show you what we messed up on. You click this. This is the formula in this cell saying F6 divided by F10. And that's not correct. It's dividing this by this. So it's basically taking this and dividing it by an empty cell. If we click on this one, you see it's doing the same thing. See how this last number is going down. So it's doing F7 divided by F11. That's not what we want because it's dividing by an empty cell. That's why it's giving us an error. So how do we do it so we can divide this by this, and then it's going to be this by this by this, and then this one by this. There's a way to do that. So first, let's go back. Get rid of our error there. And we're going to delete this F8. Alright, so now when you divide F4 by F8, you're going to hit the F4 key. Now when you hit the F4 key, you'll notice these dollar signs pop up. That's saying that F4 is going nowhere. This F4 is going to stay there in the formula. And the only thing that's going to change is the F4. Sorry, I said it wrong. The F8 is going to stay there. The only thing that's going to change is the F4. So when you drag this formula down, this number right here, F4, is going to go F5, S6, S7. These dollar signs are saying F8 is going nowhere. It's always going to stay the same. Because without the dollar signs, it's going to go F8, F9, F10, and that's when it started dividing it by these empty cells. Alright, so we're going to hit enter. Same answer, but when we bring it down, everything's going to be correct. See, if we double click it, it'll give us the formula. See, F8's not going anywhere this time. It's just the first numbers that are changing, and that's what we want. Alright, so the next thing it wants us to do is to make these actually look like percentages, because right now they just look like a bunch of decimals. So to do that, click on Home, and right here, percentage. Now it looks like a percentage. Directions say we want to make it 2 decimal points over. So right here, you can either decrease decimal points or increase. So we want to increase by 2. 1, 2. That's all you have to do is click it twice. And the last part of the directions, it wants us to center it. That's it. Let me double check the directions, make sure we're good. Oh, we did everything on there. So on to step 10. Actually, it looks like we did step 10 too. We're just ahead of ourselves there. Alright, step 11. We're going to insert spark lines. Now, we're going to look at a few keywords here. It wants us to insert spark lines to H4 to H7. And it wants us to do the spark lines on all the data except the total amounts. And once we get the spark lines on there, it wants us to choose a certain style. So we got to make sure we choose a certain style. It wants us to choose style Ancient 2, Darker 25. So let's get started on that. So if we go to our Insert tab here, you'll notice right here are spark lines. So we're going to go to Lines. That says choose the data you want. So remember, it said all the data except for totals. There we go. Now it's saying choose where you want these spark lines to be. Now, if you remember, the directions say we want it right here in this trend column, which is H4 to H7. You can go ahead and highlight that and hit OK. There's our lines. So the directions say we want markers. So if you see right here, here's markers. Click that. Markers are now showing up. Those are just these little dots. Now it wants us to choose that cell style. So if you click this arrow right here, it'll bring this down and give you a ton of options. Right now we are on blue sparkline style dark 5. That's not what we want. Whoops. Went away there. Alright. So here's Ancient 2, but that's darker 50. We want darker 25. Ah, here it is right here. So just click on it. And there it is. All it does is change the color. And that looks like that concludes step 11. Step 12. Select the range that represents the sales figures for the 4 quarters, including the quarters names of each region. Alright, so we can do that, right? Let's highlight all the data. Include the range, the quarters, and the names. Do not include totals. Alright, I did not include any totals, just the range, the data, the quarters, and the regions. With its data selected, by using the recommended chart command, insert a clustered column chart with the regions as the category, axis, and the quarters as the legend. Alright, so to do that, we'll click on page. No, not page layout. Just gotta find it here. Yep, here it is. Click on our Insert tab here, and right here you see Recommended Charts. So here's one, clustered column, lines, stacked columns. Now we know we don't want any of these. We know we want a clustered column. But there's 2 of them here, so we got to figure out which one. It says we want the one with the regions as the category. So if you see here, this one has the quarters as a category. This one, here we go, the regions are the category. So it looks like we want this one. So hit OK. Oh, look at, we got a nice little chart here. Alright, let's go back to our directions and see what it wants us to do. Looks like we concluded step 12. Now we're on 13. Apply chart style with a granite black background and color 3 under colorful. Alright, so let's figure out how to find that style. Alright, so if we click the arrow here, it gives us options. We want the one with the granite black background. Here's the one with the, there's two of them with the black background. But if you notice, it says style 8, and this one says style 12. Our directions say we want style 8. So, yep, style 8. It has a granite black background. Click on it. Ooh, look at our chart. It looks really pretty now. Alright, so what else did it want us to do? And color number 3 under colorful. Alright, color number 3 under colorful. Here's colorful right here. Alright, so it said color number 3. Looks like this is colorful 1. All this is 1. This is 2, and here's 3 right here. Alright, so basically that changed the color of our bars here. Alright, so position the chart so that its upper right corner aligns with the upper right corner of cell F10. Alright, so here's our right corner right here. We want that to align with F10. And here's F10 here. Oh, that looks pretty good right there. So here's F10. And here's our right corner. Alright, so where are we at? Oh, looks like we're done with step 13. Now we can move on to step 14. Modify the chart layout by applying layout 3. Change the chart title to 2016 Regional Sales Fitness Club. Alright, so I can't remember that, so I'm going to do a split screen here. Hopefully you guys are just printing out your directions so you can see it in front of you, but I do not have a printer right now, so I cannot do that. So let's click on our chart here. It said it wants us to change the title. So you can just delete that, backspace, and put in 2016 Regional Sales to Fitness Clubs. Alright, looks good. And it said modify the chart layout by applying layout 3. Alright, so let's see how we change the layout here. Here's quick layouts right here. And there's layout 1, layout 2, layout 3. There we go. Looks good. Now to get to that layout there, you have to click the chart and you'll notice it automatically takes you to the design tab right here. And it's just right here. Quick layouts. Alright, so that is step 14 right there. Step 15. Deselect the chart. Alright, that's an easy one. Just click anywhere. Change the page orientation to landscape. Center the worksheet horizontally on the page. And then insert a footer with the file name in the left section. Then return to the worksheet to normal view. Alright. Now those steps all right there we do in one area. So, let me find it here. Alright, this is what you want. You want page layout. You're going to go to print tiles. Alright. So if you click on page here, this is where you can change the landscape. And if you click margins, this is where you center it to be horizontal. If you click on headers here, this is where you put your footer. Header, footer. Alright, so we're going to hit custom footer. And in our left section here, because that's what the direction said, put it in the left, we are going to insert the file name. So to do that, oops, sorry, we're going to use one of these buttons. So you just hover over them and it'll tell you what it is. That's page number, number of pages, date, time, insert file path. There it is, insert file name. Just click on it and you'll see that, and just hit OK. We already did everything we needed to do here, so hit OK. Alright, so basically what we did is to make it horizontal and have footers when we print it out. That concludes step 15. So what you want to do now is save and close the document, exit Excel, and submit the files as directed. So what you're going to do now, click up here to files. I usually hit save as, and I'll write my name, Miss Hernandez. And I'm going to go ahead and save this to my PC. So just hit save. Alright, so it's all saved, so go ahead and exit out of that. We don't need these directions no more. Alright, so what we do need is we need to go back to our work. There we go. Sorry, I had a bunch of windows open. Alright, so this is what we were working on. Project G. Go ahead and click on that. And we're going to upload our completed file. Choose file. And somewhere in my computer we'll find it. Search under documents. There it is. Student Go Grader H3 Miss Hernandez. Open it and click upload. And it will upload it. It will grade you. So that concludes step 1 through 16 in chapter 1. And I'll make another video for chapter 2. I hope this helped you guys out.